is done, IEBC employs, engages a very independent firm to do, to audit the register, and among the issues that are addressed are what you've raised here. So now, the feedback coming out of that audit then is thoroughly addressed by the Commission. So the assurance I want to give to you is that the Commission takes seriously the issue of the register, because we know that is the fulcrum of that electoral process. And we are saying that we'll continue. We continue making sure that it is clean, everybody is included, and all the details that of the voters are well captured. Secondly, during registration, we also capture the biometrics, I think, of the voters, using the 10 fingers. So we are saying that we try as much as possible to ensure that all potential voters are captured using the 10 fingers. So we don't put anything to chance, so I want to assure you. But thank you for that feedback. We'll continue improving and keep it coming in so that we make our electoral process as credible as possible.
I would like to address a question or a clarification that was sought by, I think it was Raymond, on the issue of live streaming. I think we had addressed the question earlier, I think before you joined us. Now, I will just and David Ouma Ochieng. So that is the reason why the issue of live streaming is being removed from the law, because it is no longer applicable in the law. It was declared unconstitutional by a court by the High Court, and therefore we do not have that. But everything that you saw in 2022, the transmission that you saw, and the verification of the results will still be there moving forward. What you need to realize is that the courts have already rendered themselves on what the result is. The result is the form, okay, and not the text. So for that reason, we transmit the form. So for purposes of the election, the transmission is usually the form, and that is still something that will be applicable moving forward. Thank you very much.
Maybe, Ruth, you could probably, do we need to speak a bit of Swahili? I think maybe we are too tense talking a lot of English. The difference between transmission and streaming, how do you make a regular Kenyan just understand? What's the difference?
When it comes to transmission of the result, what the law requires the Commission to do is once the you want me to speak in Swahili?
You can speak in Swahili. I think it's a conversation.
Once the PO akimaliza kuhesabu kura anafai kupiga picha in a PDF format. Akipiga hiyo picha, then anaitransmit na KIMS kit. There's a tab in the KIMS kit which he uses. Once that is done, it is transmitted through the server, and it reflects in the public portal that the commission is supposed to maintain for the public, where they can access the results. And that is what we saw in 2022. And it was accessed by, I think, at least 300 million people, members of the public, I mean, all over the world. So, yes.
Okay. I think in subsequent conversations, we have to really make this issue of transmission versus streaming. We have to break it down so that citizens can understand the difference. I think it's something that we will keep talking about so that we can understand. I think we're going to have more conversations other than today. This is just a beginning. So we can have Wanyambura. Wanyambura, can you take the mic? And also Dr. Ahmed. Wanyambura or Dr. Ahmed?
Hello, good evening, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Yes, thank you very much for this opportunity. And I'll go straight to my question about the register. I know it has been handled, but my question is, one of the mandates of the commission is to continuously register voters. Is this mandate being done? Are you continuously registering voters as per now? And if not, why? And because the issue of election starts with the register, as one of the previous speakers has said. So thank you very much and for the opportunity.
Thank you, Wanyambura. We also have Ahmed, Dr. Ahmed. You have the mic. We can also have Mark Kishori. Mark. Okay. We also have, is it Paki? Those that I have mentioned, I don't know who is able to access the mic and ask your question. Sikulu. We can also have the question from Sikulu. Going to have Jack once more to speak to the issue of continuous voter registration, result transmission, which will also be addressed by Silas.
Thank you, Mr. Wanyambura, for that question on continuous voter registration. It is true, as you observed correctly, that it is one of the mandate of IEBC to conduct continuous voter registration. I have to confess that currently it is not going on because of reasons that are beyond now the Secretariat. As you are aware, the Commission is not in place, so it's only the Secretariat. And the Secretariat are more of implementers of the policies that have been made by the Commission. And one of the policy is when the time to commence that continuous voter registration. And then also that activity is also accompanied by a number of notices which have to be signed by the chairperson of the commission, who currently they are not in place. So we are not on, because that is a policy issue that can be handled when the commission is in place. So once the commission will be constituted, then we roll out continuous voter registration. Thank you for that inquiry, and we are happy you're also concerned the way we are.
My name is Silas from IEBC. There's a further question that was asked about the live stream and the result transmission, and I wanted to provide some further insights into what is the difference between live stream and the result transmission, and further to mention that what my colleague mentioned is that what is the bill that is in Parliament is a bill that is trying to clean up the regulations or the acts of Parliament subsequent to some sections that were declared unconstitutional by the Supreme Court. So what is happening is a cleanup, as explained earlier. However, I wanted to explain that in elections, our election processes are guided by the law. And the law is clear what is a result as this, based on the decision that was made by the Supreme Court. The result is the physical form 34 from the polling stations. And therefore, our requirement is to transmit that form to the tallying centers through the use of technology, the result transmission system that we deploy. So what we do with the technology is that we capture the form that has been signed by the presiding officers and the agent at the polling station and electronically transmit that form for display at the public portal Sorry, I had somebody speak. So the live streaming that was mentioned in the Act was just a cleanup of the regulations or the Act as based on the Supreme Court decisions. Therefore, our role in the elections is to transmit the scanned image of the results form as signed at the polling station and announced by the presiding officers at the polling station. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. I think we've continued to receive questions, and we have Owino Wambogo. You have the mic. Owino Wambogo. There's somebody who is called Ramson Kenya. Ramson Kenya, you have the mic. Go ahead and ask your question. Is that Ramson? Okay. We've been having a lot of questions and concerns around the issues of the independence of the IEBC. We've also had quite a number of questions on the issue of the commissioners. Maybe on the issues of commissioners, I think, how do we as citizens push to ensure that the process is hastened and we have the commissioners in place so that when some of the things that are pending, like the ones that you've been asking for, can go on. So we also need, I think sometimes in governance, you have state and non-state actors. We have citizens. I think we are looking for a situation where we also have citizens who can push some of these things to make sure that some of these things happen. We have somebody called Francis. Francis, you have the mic. Francis?
Can I ask the question?
Yes. Who is this, Francis?
This is Danson.
That is Danson. Okay. Thank you, Danson.
And thank you for the commission, the secretariat for hosting our team recently.
Yes, Danson, you can. Which team is this? Danson, are you still there? Okay, we have someone called Kevin Mose. Okay, somebody else called Mugoi Shamba, MS Mugoi Shamba. Mugoi Shamba, you have the mic. Caris, you can have the mic. Then we also have Mizani 254. Mizani 254. Okay. Okay, so I think in that case,
I have a question.
yes, who is this? Is that
DTMD Sikuku.
Sikuku? Okay, Sikuku, go ahead.
Yes, I'm a resident of Navajolo, and my concern is on the transmission of the results. You realize that some polling stations, there's no network connectivity at all. What is IEBC doing over the same to ensure that such issues are solved before 2027?
Thank you very much, Sikuku, for that question. We are taking the last set of questions. So we have somebody called Raymaya. We have Benster. We are taking the last set of questions. So Benster. Benster, are you there? David?
I ask my question. Can you hear me?
That is David?
No, this is what's from. I've been there in the mic, but you're not giving me the mic.
Okay, you have the mic now. Ask your question.
Okay. Oh, my name is Watfom from Turkana County, and I have two questions.
There's some background noise. There's some background noise.
Can you? But you can hear me?
Yes. Yes, I can.
Okay. Okay. Just assume the background noise. Hear my voice. Regarding the constituency and word adjustment, with the current structure of 290 constituency and existing wards, how does your office handle requests for the creation of new constituency or wards or the adjustment of their boundaries while ensuring equitable representation and compliance with the constitution guidelines? Question 2, What is the process of organizing by-election in case where elected officials such as an MP or MCS pass away or vacate their position? And how do you ensure timely, efficient representation for the affected area during this transition? In this case, we have members of parliament who have shifted to be a CS, the like of NGCS. And we also have one of the MP from the coast who was declared, his position was declared vacant because it was said that there was wrong issue with his election. So how does that happen? Because we don't have a commission right now. Does the constituent being affected? Yes, you know they are affected. And how do you handle that case? Because the constituent want a member of parliament in their constituent. Thank you.
Thank you, Watson, for your question. So we have the question by David on the boundary delimitation process, and I'm going to ask Ali to address the question on boundary. And then we have Shikuku, who asked the issue of connectivity, and I'm going to ask Silas to address that.
Hi, Watson. My name is Ali, and I'll respond to the question with regards to boundary delimitation. What the Constitution says with regards to constituencies is that there are going to be 290 constituencies. So we cannot really exceed that. And indeed, you can send petitions requiring for realignment, but it's based on the parameters that have been prescribed in Article 89, whether it's population, community of interest, geographical features, cultural and historical ties. So you can actually write petition to request for a review of your constituencies. Otherwise, with regards to the wards, the commission as well can review the wards, and it can be up or the lower limit. So it's not only restricted to 1450, but it can be up or downwards. I hope I've answered your question.
Thank you. This is Silas again. I'll try to answer the question from Shikuku about lack of network at the polling stations. Yes, it is true. There are parts of this country that have poor network connectivity. And we've seen attempts by the mobile network operators and the Communication Authority of Kenya to try to upgrade the network connectivity. And during elections, as we approach the elections, the Commission partners with mobile network operators and the Communication Authority with an aim of assessing the ground in terms of areas where the network has challenges and providing alternative mechanisms, like including even satellite connectivity, to ensure every part of the country is covered. Even with that attempt, still there are areas that may face challenges during transmission. And what we do is, as a complementary mechanism, we train our presiding officers and officials on how they handle certain areas or challenges that they face during the election. So when the presiding officers finish counting and tallying of the results, counting at the polling stations, and they capture the results on the KIMS kit, which is our technology device, the first thing they are trained to do is to transmit the results to the National Tallying Center. So the system, once they have finished counting and tallying, counting the results, and they have captured the image of the form, there's a button on the KIMS kit that they press to say transmit. So once they press that button, it attempts to scan the network to identify the network connectivity available. Remember, the KIMS kit has two SIM cards. It has a primary SIM card and a secondary SIM card, which is for alternative network connectivity. If the first primary network is not available, then it has a second network where it attempts to transmit. If all that fails at the polling stations, our presiding officers are trained that they are required to switch off that device and move to the nearest point of connectivity, which is normally the constituency tallying center. And from the constituency tallying center, they will switch on the device and it will scan the network and transmit the results. One very important point to note is that after a device or the KIMS has scanned the image of the result form and the presiding officer has confirmed that they are ready to transmit, then that image is locked and it cannot be changed at any point. The only thing that can happen is to transmit. So whatever happens at whatever point, the only thing that can happen after the polling station results are captured is to transmit. They cannot change the results form. So that is the complementary mechanism we have provided and trained our officers to handle situations in areas where there is poor network coverage. And remember, we have the satellite devices available in case they require to transmit using the satellite devices. Thank you.
There was a question by, I think it was by Watson, and it was in regards to by-elections or the conduct of by-election, how the commission conducts by-election, and etc. Now, the commission, once a vacancy occurs, whether it is through the resignation or the passing on of a member, the respective speaker of that particular assembly notifies the commission through a notice of vacancy. And some of the salient features of that notice is to inform the commission of the vacancy, and based on that, the commission then is expected to conduct a by-election within a specific timeline. For parliament, it is usually 90 days, but for the county assemblies, then we never used to have a timeline, and based on that, the commission passed a policy in which we conduct the by-elections within the same amount of period, especially if there is no vacancy in the National Assembly or Senate. We do empathize from the Commission's perspective with the residents of the affected constituencies and wards. We know that they have not been represented for the time that the commissioners have not been in office. And what we want to say is that this is something that the commission will take up the moment they come into office, once they are appointed. And once that is done, then they will have representation in the respective assemblies. Our hands are tied at this particular time. When we do not have commissioners, the secretariat cannot conduct the elections, because elections are not an administrative process. It is a process that requires the commissioners to be in post and for them to give us direction. And because there are several things that require the commissioners to be present: gazettement of returning officers, the appointment, giving a date, and all that. And that is not something that the commission secretariat can do in the absence of commissioners. So based on that, all we can say is that this is only something that will be held in abeyance until the commissioners are in post. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, everyone. We want to really thank you for joining the discussion and for being very candid with the questions that you have asked and the issues that you have raised. Remember, this is Gumzo na IEBC, or talking to IEBC. It's the first of a series of platforms where we have IEBC shedding light on different issues that citizens want information on. We wish to thank the Secretariat staff of the IEBC from the different directorates who have managed to shed light on the pertinent issues that citizens have asked, on generally about the IEBC and also on electoral processes. We also want to thank CMD Kenya for the collaboration in hosting this discussion. And we look forward to having more platforms like this. Remember that a good citizen is one who participates. You need to participate wherever you are. You need to be interested in what is happening within your community. You need to identify issues which you feel that are happening and which you need to be in charge of. If you have a bad road, you probably don't have water. All those things are civic responsibilities where you can engage. We do hope that there are quite a number of things that are happening for those who are in the counties. We have a lot that happens at county level. We have the budgeting processes. We have the planning processes at county level. And we hope that these are issues that can be of interest to all of us so that we can participate in making Kenya a great nation. You can follow us on our media platforms. That is at Uraia Trust, at IEBC Kenya, and also at CMD Kenya. And also we are going to give you the dates and the time for our next space, so that we can engage with you further. Otherwise, from me, your moderator, my name is Helen. I have really enjoyed being the moderator in this session, and we really look forward to the next one. And hopefully that you will engage us more. You will come with more questions. You will look around and see what issues are happening, issues which you need clarity. And also, we also thank the young people who have provided recommendations in terms of the use of technology. We will find out between CMD, Uraia, and IEBC whether we can set a place where innovations, especially on the issue of voter education, people can come and showcase the innovations that they have on the different electoral processes and how we can leverage on these processes. Otherwise, from us, thank you very much and have a good night.
The actual people might even say you've been sold as a slave. Why should a Kenyan leave Kenya with a contract in Arabic? You don't speak Arabic. It hasn't been translated to you. And in some cases, you're not even allowed to have a copy of that contract that you can send to a family member. We must also talk to our sisters and brothers, tell them when when the deal is too good, think twice. If someone is trying to isolate you from your family, telling you not to tell anybody, I'm gonna take you here. The same happens to Kenyans that are meeting people online. These people are promising to marry you, take you to Europe and take you elsewhere. We do have our sisters that are ending up in brothels where somebody promised you you're gonna be his wife. you end up in Belgium, you end up in US, you end up in Germany, you will be stuck in a brothel. So when it comes to the trafficking issue, we do need to create awareness, and we do need to partner with people that can hold Kenya accountable. Like you see, the Andani brothers were just about to do a deal whereby Kenya was just giving them the airport to do whatever they want with it. They are indicted in America. So there is jurisdictions where the rule of law works, the international court, though sometimes it's very difficult. But if we have enough cases to prove that some of these Middle East deals, it is human trafficking, we have what they were promised, we have what has been going on with them, these are how many body bags we are bringing back. Some of those people that think they are untouchable, they will not be as untouchable. And the good thing is on this call, I'm sure we have people from many jurisdictions. Myself, I'm in the US. If you're reporting this to people that take like trafficking very seriously, if we have people in Kenya, if we have people in Germany, if we have people all over the world, South Africa, whatever, name it, and we are all telling the same story, our voice starts being heard. So never underestimate the value of those small steps that we're taking as long as they're consistent. Thank you.
Before Pipita comes, I would like to add, sorry Pipita, I would like to add something on Sheena about human trafficking. There's a case, it happened this year, and this was in Nigeria. There are politicians, the wife, I think the hubby and the wife. So they are Nigerians, but they have British passports. So their daughter had kidney issues, and they are based in London. But you hear now they just have those passports, because what Nigerians do then, when it was easy for them to travel, they used to, maybe if you get pregnant, you go to US, you give birth, and your kid has the US passport. So this couple, the daughter had kidney issues, or maybe a certain kind of organ, it's kidney, and she got kidney issues after these could bleach, the way the ladies bleach, or maybe something of the sort, or maybe adding their back. So they went back to Nigeria, and there was a negotiation with the family, and the family was paid. The kid was taken to London, not knowing whatever will happen. It's on the bed, being taken for surgery. The kid, the boy, he was, I think, around 19 years. The boy was even younger, he was around 17 years, but when they got the papers, I don't know how they managed to fake those documents. The guy got there as an adult. So it's on the bed, the boy signaled the nurse. And the nurse, now they started questioning. Finally, the couple was jailed in the UK. So whatever she said about human trafficking, and that's so sad, and that's why I mentioned it's so true. Tufungue macho.
Thank you for that, and of course somebody also spoke about that the European circuit where people could easily get themselves in those brothels. So thank you so much, Shinake, for that as well. At least I hope me better. Bionic, you're up. Thank you so much for tuning in to Home Run, ladies and gentlemen. It's 9 p.m. East African. Bionic.
All right, PP. It's 9 p.m. So I know you gotta go, so I'll keep it brief. In regards to the story of the day about the deal that went sour, basically this government, Ruto's henchmen, they played this lady. They wanted some software that could spy on the opposition, spy on media houses, on journalists, that could delete negative comments and paint Ruto in a positive light in social media. And it seems like she went back, and because this is what she does for work, this lady Washuka, she went back and actually had her people, maybe she did it herself, I don't know, but I think she paid some of her guys to write the code. And so it's proprietary software that she was selling to the Kenyan government to do this dirty work. Now, the way this spyware works is someone spoke about the Pegasus spyware that is proprietary to the Israeli Mossad, and that one works specifically on mobile phones, Android and iOS. It installs that spyware on your phone, and it seems like it comes in, like I was saying earlier, in an attachment, in an email attachment, or it looks like an email from that you recognize, but it's not. It's been hacked. Your phone has been hacked, so the email comes from. It looks legit, and it has an attachment. You open the attachment, the spyware installs, or it comes with a link. You click on the link and it installs. Or even just opening the email sometimes will install that. And then it starts collecting information, all kinds of financial information from your phone. It collects video information, data, voice data, and a bunch of other things. So in terms of this software that this lady was selling to the Kenyan government, it looks like the spyware it could have been one of two types of spyware. One is called a keylogger, which records every single time you type on your keyboard, it records that information, that data, and sends it to the people who want this information, the hackers. So or it could have been a Trojan. A Trojan is a type of spyware also, and it usually looks very harmful. It looks like it's telling you to update your computer, update your certain app on your phone or a website, and that's how once you click on that update, it will install the spyware. And it'll collect mostly, it will steal your data. It will steal very personal data and send it to the hackers. So this is what Washuka was selling. Well, they actually approached her, or they made a deal, and she was ready to prepare this software, or she actually did prepare. I think she prepared it because she said she spent $123 million. And then the Kenyan government, Ngeno, and the speech writers, some people, the henchmen, Ruto's henchmen, and obviously the orders came from above for whatever reason that they didn't pay her. So it seems like they did not take the product, because according to the newspaper, I didn't see a part saying where it said, or where Washuka claims that she actually sold this product. She's just claiming she wrote the code, prepared the software, and she spent all that money, and then they didn't come through in the deal. So it looks like they did not buy the deal. But it's bad enough that they approached her and wanted to do such a deal and spy on people, and people they consider their enemies, and create false stories on Ruto, positive stories, and delete negative stories and negative comments more so. But after reading this, I'm really not surprised that Ruto wanted to do this, because he's the same guy who approached Cambridge Analytica. If you guys remember Cambridge Analytica, the guys who helped him and Ruto and Uhuru steal the election of 2013. I could be wrong, but there's an election not too long ago that they used Cambridge Analytica, and Cambridge Analytica is a British firm that does much like the same stuff this lady does, but on a different scale. They plant negative stories on the opposition, and they did a very, very good job, because the stories that they planted to this date are still talked about, like they're factual. So they managed to accomplish that deal. So me, I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked that Ruto is still doing shit like this. This is his MO. If maybe Washuka was charging too much, but I'm not surprised he's doing this early. I believe he's still gonna find some other people to do this for him, because now that he knows he can get it done, I believe it's still gonna be done. And this Washuka needs to really watch her back. She probably shouldn't even come back to Kenya at this point. She may disappear or be abducted. So yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to share about this, the software part of the topic today, and to thank the people who spoke about all the stuff that goes on with our brothers and sisters in the Middle East. It's just heartbreaking, but here we are. You know, we are struggling, and Kenyans are struggling, and they'll go where there's an opportunity. You know, many of these people are very talented, educated, but the opportunities are not there. So they end up going to places where they suffer for being away and trying to make a living, and it's like taking 10 steps forward and 10 steps back, 1 step forward and 10 steps back. They can't seem to get ahead, or if they do, it takes so long. So let me leave it there and let you guys call it a night. I know PP needs to do his thing. It's 9 o'clock. Thank you guys, and have a good night. Thanks, PP. I hope you get your phone, get a new phone soon.
Thank you. In Kenya, simu ikimaliza 24 hours away from your possession, you start planning for your next bionic. But thank you so much. So for right now, nijipange tu nianze kuchangia simu ingine. It has a new owner now. So sahi kuna kapasi fulani na operate nako hapa kame overheat vibaya sana. But we have to be live.
Pole.
Thank you. Unaona tena inanizimikia hapa hivi itaki kufungua mic. Thank you so much for that, Bionic. She, of course, X-Bully wanted to say something to us. X-Bully, talk to us. You have a very wrong name, bro. Tito.
Yo.
Tuongeleshe. Hiyo jina yako sasa tunataka tupatie mabuli kazi. Talk to us like.
No. Bro, you good?
Yeah, I'm great. Talk to me.
Yeah, me, I'm great. I'm just don't know if I'm bitter, if I'm angry. I don't know. Manze, the government has just fucked us, bro. I hope tumekuwa na wewe hapo. Si kuna kitu nimekuinbox, umeona?
Yeah, nimeona, but I've not been able to play it or download it because I'm using the phone yenye naangalilia.
Bro, so kwa hiyo video nimekutumia. That's our company in Nairobi. So kiareo wamekuwa, I don't know if I should be just English or nataka niongee tu. I'll just speak.
Yeah, just
so
talk.
That's our
just
company.
Look,
okay, that's our company in Nairobi. So Kiare, you know, Kiare is so corrupt, bro. That's why they are trying to implement all those spy software, whatever, because they don't want us to expose them, bro. I'm like, is the president so fearful? What's he fearing that someone will expose him, that he should have a spyware software? So my issue is that on the video I've sent you, that's our company in Nairobi. So it's a Chinese company. So those guys, what KRA have been doing to the company? So the company have employed more than, let's say, if I go minimum, it's 200 employees. That's youth between the age of 18, not even 18. Let me tell you, 20 to 26. So those guys have been coming, like they come this day, like they are so corrupt. They come and take the bribe in cash. That's what they do to the Chinese. So it has come to a point now that they have eaten these Chinese so much that even now the Chinese want to close the company. So whenever we ask the bosses what the reason, they tell us it's not that the company is at a loss, but the Kenyan government, they are so hey, I don't know, but they are so greedy. They take bribe, like you see, like mkubwa wao say anaweza tuma, anaweza kuja achukue do, akishachukua do aende atume maboys wake, like after 2 days wakuje tena waeke hao machingo wetu pingu, then wakishawatisha hivyo wanatolewa tena do, wakishapewa do wanaweza kaa tu wiki mbili tena wakuja wachukue do tena, like you see
wanachukua how much are they taking? Na hawa chinku wako na work permit ama ni because they are operating illegally ama tu ni just extortion?
Bro, those guys are not operating illegally. Those guys are very, but you see, what those guys do is they intimidate and they sell fear to those guys up to the extent that they even took, there's a time they took even their visas, their visa cards, yes.
That is deadly. That is very deadly. So it has.
You can imagine once you download that video, bro, you'll see now what it's even they are girls recording because the boys want to handle with the soldiers, the policemen. The boys are harassing the policemen now because how comes, bro? You guys, you are on a payslip, then you want our company to be closed, even if it's a foreign country.
Manze, si watu cooperate huku kumeanza kukua kugumu zaidi.
Then, bro, you can imagine those Chinese, they pay everything, then even they tip. Now they tip. That is like, unajua sasa hata ukiwa kwa foreign country ukiambiwa unafaa ufanye hivi hata kama umelipa kitu kingine yote, utatip. You see those guys came and they ask for cash. They don't take at you. They take cash.
Paper trail. Hawataki wakuwe wanafuatiliwa. Siliona kama Japunji ni mkora ana reverse pesa ya serikali.
Bana, so what these guys did wakaita hao wachingu wote hapo kwa ofisi yao.
These are KRA guys or immigration guys?